As we grow older, we begin to pay closer attention to things we once took for granted: our energy, our breath, our digestion, and yes, even our intimate habits. For many older men, morning masturbation is a quiet part of the routine, rarely discussed and often done the same way for decades. It brings comfort, it helps relieve stress, it may even feel like proof that some parts of us are still working just fine. But what if I told you that certain things you're doing in those quiet morning moments, even unintentionally, may be silently hurting your health? Urologists are now warning that specific morning masturbation habits, especially common in men over 60, can quietly affect your prostate, your circulation, your nervous system, and even your long-term sexual health. And the problem isn't the act itself, it's how you do it. It's when you do it. And it's how little we listen to our own bodies in those moments. This isn't a video about shame. It's a conversation about awareness. Because your health, your pleasure, and your future deserve better than automatic routines. Let's take a respectful, honest, and medically informed look at the 7 most common masturbation mistakes older men make in the morning, and how small shifts in habit can mean a big difference in how you feel the rest of the day. This isn't about stopping, it's about finally understanding. Let's begin. Mistake number 1, doing it immediately after waking up without moving first. When your body is still asleep, but you're already asking it to perform. It may feel natural to roll over in bed and start your morning with a bit of quiet release. After all, you've just woken up, no one's around, and the house is silent. But here's what most older men don't realize. Your body isn't fully awake yet, even if your mind is. During sleep, your blood pressure drops, circulation slows, pelvic floor muscles remain lightly contracted, core temperature is lower, and your nervous system is still in rest mode. Jumping straight into stimulation without giving your body time to warm up can quietly place strain on your heart, especially if you have hypertension or cardiovascular history, your prostate and pelvic floor, which are tight from hours of stillness, your lower back, especially if you're lying in bed or twisted awkwardly. You may not notice these effects right away, but over time, men report dizziness after climax, morning fatigue or drain, light cramping or pressure in the groin, a feeling of being tense or not fully released. Some men even confuse these symptoms with aging or think something's wrong with their testosterone, when in fact it's just bad timing. What to do instead? Give your body 5 to 10 minutes to wake up naturally. Sit up slowly, stretch your legs and shoulders, take a few deep breaths, walk to the kitchen and drink water, maybe even shower or splash your face. These gentle movements get your blood flowing, loosen pelvic and lower back muscles, prepare your nervous system for stimulation, reduce the risk of energy crash or strain afterward. Just because you can doesn't mean you should, not until your body is ready. Masturbation isn't the issue. Forcing your body into stimulation before it's fully awake is. And after 60, your body needs preparation, not pressure. Mistake number 2, using too much pressure or force while still stiff, when getting it over with starts quietly hurting you over time. For many older men, masturbation becomes a quick routine, something done more out of habit than connection. And in the morning, when time may be short or energy low, it's tempting to rush the process using firm grip, quick movements, or excessive pressure. But here's what your body may not be telling you directly. Your tissues, nerves, and circulation are more delicate now than they were 20 years ago. After 60, the following changes become more common. Skin becomes thinner and more fragile. Blood vessels are less elastic. Nerve endings can become more sensitive or desensitized. Erections may take longer to build and shorter to sustain. The prostate and pelvic muscles respond more slowly to stress. Using excessive force or death grip techniques, especially in a stiff, poorly warmed up state, can cause hidden consequences: micro tears in penile tissue, delayed soreness or burning sensation hours later, loss of natural sensitivity over time, difficulty maintaining erection without forceful touch, long-term pelvic floor tension leading to issues like urgency, leakage, or discomfort, prostate congestion or discomfort. You may not feel these effects instantly, but if you often feel sore, numb, or less satisfied afterward, the way you're stimulating may be the problem, not your body. What to do instead? Begin with gentle touch, not pressure. Allow arousal to build gradually. Don't jump ahead. Use lubrication, especially if skin is dry or friction is high. Avoid the same tight grip every time. Rotate hand position or pressure. Tune in to what feels good emotionally, not just physically. Pleasure shouldn't leave your body feeling punished. After 60, the goal is connection, not just completion. If you're using too much force to feel anything, your body may be asking for more presence, not more pressure. And that shift, though subtle, could change everything for the better. Mistake number 3, forgetting to hydrate before ejaculation, when a dry body leads to strained pleasure. Most men don't think about drinking water before they touch themselves. But here's what many older men don't realize. Dehydration doesn't just affect your mouth or your skin, it affects your blood flow, your prostate, and your energy levels. And in the morning, after 6 to 8 hours without fluids, your body is often mildly dehydrated, even if you don't feel thirsty. Trying to masturbate in that state puts strain on several systems. Your blood is thicker, which reduces circulation to the pelvic region. Your prostate fluid is more concentrated, which can lead to congestion or discomfort during ejaculation. Your nervous system is underpowered, increasing the risk of fatigue, dizziness, or lightheadedness afterward. Some men experience a sense of weakness post-climax, a brief headache or neck tension, a sharp drop in energy right after finishing, or a feeling of being wiped out too soon in the day. Often they assume this is age or low testosterone, but in reality, it may simply be dehydration affecting circulation, muscle tone, and fluid balance. What to do instead? Before any morning activity, including masturbation, drink a glass of water. It doesn't need to be fancy. 1 cup of warm or room temperature water, optional, a squeeze of lemon or a pinch of sea salt for better absorption. This supports smooth blood flow, healthier semen consistency, lower strain on the prostate, faster post-climax recovery. When the body is hydrated, pleasure flows more gently and recovery is quicker. And if you wake up feeling stiff, sluggish, or with cloudy thoughts, water is one of the fastest ways to support your morning clarity, both mentally and physically. Hydration is a small act, but for older men, it makes a big difference in how your body handles stimulation and release. So before you rush to finish, take a moment, take a sip, and let your body feel supported, not just aroused. Mistake number 4, holding your breath or tensing too much during climax, when a moment of pleasure quietly strains the heart, prostate, and pelvic floor. It's one of the most common unconscious habits in older men. During climax, you clench your jaw, tighten your legs, maybe even hold your breath. It happens quickly, without thinking. But here's what your body wants you to know. That tension, repeated daily or weekly, adds up. Especially after 60, when your muscles are tighter, your blood vessels are less elastic, and your heart needs more care than force. When you hold your breath during climax, it increases intra-abdominal pressure, spikes your blood pressure temporarily, reduces oxygen to your brain and heart, tenses the pelvic floor too much, leading to dysfunction. And when you also clench your glutes, lower back, and thighs during the same moment, your body isn't flowing, it's bracing. That creates issues like pelvic discomfort or pressure, difficulty fully releasing, post-ejaculatory fatigue, increased risk of hemorrhoids or pelvic prolapse, especially with chronic straining. It's not about guilt, it's about awareness. Most men do this because they learn to chase intensity, but after 60, what your body needs is release, not resistance. What to do instead? Practice breathing through the entire process. Inhale softly through the nose, exhale gently through the mouth, relax your jaw, your shoulders, and your thighs before and during climax. Notice, are you tensing without needing to? Try this simple phrase: softer is stronger. Let go, don't grip. Breathe, don't brace. By staying relaxed and oxygenated, you protect your heart, prostate, pelvic nerves, and long-term vitality. Pleasure isn't just about sensation, it's about harmony between mind, breath, and body. So the next time you feel things building, don't push harder, breathe deeper, let go, because release should feel free, not forced. Mistake number 5, doing it in a poor posture, like slouching in bed, when your back, bladder, and prostate quietly pay the price for a bad position. We don't often think about posture during private moments, but posture isn't just for walking or sitting at the dinner table. It affects how your internal organs, circulation, and pelvic muscles respond to pressure. Many older men tend to masturbate, lying on one side, hunched in bed, slouched forward in a chair, or curled with shoulders and neck compressed. These positions may feel comfortable in the moment, but over time they lead to increased pressure on the lower spine, compression of the bladder and prostate, reduced blood flow to the pelvic floor, post-ejaculatory discomfort, or lingering tightness. And because tissue resilience decreases after 60, the stress adds up, especially if you already have back pain, sciatica, or prostate sensitivity. It's not just what you're doing, it's the position your body is in when you're doing it. What can go wrong? Poor posture during stimulation can contribute to lower back strain, hip stiffness afterward, groin tension or incomplete release, pressure on the perineum, the soft tissue between scrotum and anus, which may irritate the prostate. Some men also report needing to urinate more after climax, a sensation of heaviness in the pelvis, or waking up sore the next day without understanding why. What to do instead? Sit upright in a supported chair with your spine long. Keep your feet flat on the floor for grounding. If lying down, use a pillow under your knees to reduce lower back tension. Avoid curling into yourself. Allow the chest to stay open, shoulders soft. Focus on positions that allow breath and movement, not compression. When your body is aligned, your experience becomes smoother, deeper, and safer. Pleasure shouldn't cost you your posture, and intimacy shouldn't leave you feeling like you've just strained your lower back. So the next time you choose to connect with yourself, do it from a place of support. Your spine, your bladder, and your future self will thank you. Mistake number 6, rushing the process just to get it over with. When habit replaces connection and pleasure becomes mechanical. In the early years of manhood, urgency often comes with desire. But as we grow older, many men begin to view masturbation as something to be done quickly, quietly, and without presence. Just get it over with. Don't linger. Don't feel too much. And certainly, don't slow down. But here's the truth that most older men never hear. When you rush through pleasure, you don't save time. You lose the deeper benefits of the experience. Why rushing hurts more than it helps. When masturbation becomes mechanical, your body responds differently. The nervous system stays tense, not soothed. Blood vessels constrict instead of relax. The pelvic floor tightens, which can lead to long-term dysfunction. Prostate fluid may not release fully, leading to congestion or pressure. Emotional satisfaction is replaced by emotional numbness. You may finish, but you don't feel restored. You feel more like you got something out of the way. And over time, that can quietly dull your sensitivity, your sense of intimacy, your connection to your own body. Rushing robs you of the very peace you were hoping to find. What to do instead? Treat your time alone as something valuable, not something to hurry through. Try this shift. Slow your breath before beginning. Let arousal rise naturally. Don't force it. Focus on what you feel, not what you fantasize. Take breaks between sensation and climax. Ask yourself, am I enjoying this or escaping something? You might be surprised by how deeply your body responds when you give it the space to feel, not just finish. You deserve more than quick relief. You deserve mindful, gentle, fully embodied pleasure, the kind that leaves you feeling nourished, not emptied. So next time, take the time, because your body still remembers how to feel deeply, but only if you remember how to stay present. Mistake number 7, ignoring fatigue or discomfort afterward. When your body tries to speak, but you push it into silence, you've finished. You get dressed, and maybe, just maybe, you feel a little lightheaded, a pressure in your lower abdomen, a sudden drop in energy, a dull ache in the groin or lower back, or even an emotional flatness you can't quite name. But you brush it off. I'm just getting older. That's normal. It'll pass. And yet it keeps happening. What many older men don't realize is this: that post-release moment is when your body tells the truth. And if you feel worse after climax than before, your body is not ungrateful. It's overwhelmed. What this fatigue or discomfort might be telling you: overstimulation of the nervous system, especially if climax was forced or rushed; prostate congestion, if fluids weren't released fully or if pelvic tension is high; cardiovascular stress, especially in men with blood pressure fluctuations; hormonal drop, where dopamine falls sharply and the body feels temporarily depleted; pelvic floor fatigue from repeated clenching or poor posture. Ignoring these signs may seem like being tough, but in truth, it prevents you from adjusting the very habits that could protect your long-term health. After climax, take a moment, sit quietly, breathe. Ask yourself, do I feel calm or do I feel tense or empty? If you notice a pattern of fatigue or pain, reduce intensity, pressure, or frequency. Use warmth, like a warm compress, on the lower back or pelvis if soreness appears. Track your body's response in a short journal or mental note, and most importantly, speak to a urologist if discomfort is recurring. It may not be just aging. It may be an early sign your body is asking for care. Your body has carried you for decades. The least we can do is listen when it whispers before it needs to shout. Pleasure is meant to restore you. If it consistently drains you, your approach needs compassion, not repetition. After 60, the conversation around intimacy often fades. People stop talking about it. Doctors rarely bring it up, and you may quietly carry questions, discomfort, or shame without ever saying a word. But just because the world has gone quiet doesn't mean your body has. Your body still responds, still desires, still needs. But now, more than ever, it also needs respect. Because pleasure is not about proving something, it's about presence. And when you slow down, listen, hydrate, breathe, align, and stay aware, you're not losing anything. You're gaining something far deeper, a sense of control, a sense of connection, and a pleasure that leaves you feeling stronger, not weaker. This isn't about stopping what's natural. It's about doing it with wisdom, not wear and tear. You've earned that wisdom. Now it's time to apply it because caring for your sexual health is not vanity, it's vitality, and you are still very much alive. If this video gave you gentle insight, like this video if you believe mature pleasure deserves mature care. Share it, privately or openly, with someone who might benefit. Subscribe to True Senior Wisdom for weekly guidance on aging with health, honesty, and quiet strength. You're still here. Your body is still speaking, and your pleasure still matters. Let it be peaceful. Let it be healing. Let it be yours.